Good morning, everyone. Reverend Brad Walmer from New Covenant United Church of Christ in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. And this is this week's edition of Children's Story Time. This week's edition of Children's Story Time is for the fourth Sunday after Pentecost, June 21st, 2026. We are celebrating Juneteenth weekend. It's the weekend of Juneteenth here in Williamsport. We're having a big celebration in Brandon Park on Saturday, the 5K race against racism. There's other events there at the park on Saturday. So we're celebrating Juneteenth weekend. So going a little bit off of the lectionary, going to be using the passage from Luke where Jesus preaches in the synagogue in his hometown of Nazareth for the first time, and reads from the scroll of Isaiah. But hopefully, you can find a way to use this in your particular setting, or hopefully you enjoy the message worshiping with us from home this week. And so, what we're playing this week, the game we're playing this week is What's Your Job? Or What's My Job? So I'm going to give you some names of some really crazy, outrageous jobs, and you tell me what that person does. So the first one here, bovine atmospheric specialist. What do you think a bovine atmospheric specialist does? Any guesses? What do you think? Bovine, cattle, cows, atmosphere, the oxygen, the carbon dioxide, the things that we breathe, that we exhale. What do you think a bovine atmospheric specialist does? If you said they analyze the gases, the smells from cattle and dairy farms, you are correct. They smell poop. Their job is to smell poop. What a crazy job to have. A poop smeller, a cow poop smeller. All right, how about an aquatic obstruction engineer? Aquatic means water. Obstruction means there's something in the way. What do you think an aquatic obstruction engineer does? Any guesses? Well, if you said they remove large items from body of water, you are correct. They want to make things safe for boats and kayaks and people who go out fishing. And so they remove large items from bodies of water. How about our next one? Our next one is an inactivity technician. Inactivity means that you're not very active, you're not doing a lot. What do you think an inactivity technician does? They are human statue performers. Maybe you've been on vacation, New York City, Las Vegas, and you've seen, or at a fair or a carnival, and you've seen a human statue. That is an inactivity technician, a human statue. How about the olfactory quality assurance analyst? Olfactory means smell, quality, if it's a good smell or a bad smell. What do you think an olfactory quality assurance analyst does? If you said that they test smells, you are correct. They sniff different types of deodorants and perfumes, and then they give feedback saying whether they think that was a good smell or a bad smell. An olfactory quality assurance analyst tests smells. How about a sensory scientist? What do you think a sensory scientist does? Senses are five senses: touch, smell, taste, hearing, sight. What do you think a sensory scientist does? If you said they test soaps and lotions and razors, how things feel against our skin, you would be correct. That's a sensory scientist. How about the subaquatic orb recovery consultant? We had aquatic earlier. It means water. Subaquatic means under the water. An orb is like a globe. It's a circular round item. What do you think a subaquatic orb recovery consultant does? Any guesses? If you said they are divers that clean out golf balls from ponds, you are correct. Great job. Divers that recover golf balls from ponds. I hit a lot of golf balls in the water. They'd be recovering a lot of my golf balls. A subaquatic orb recovery operator consultant is a person who gets golf balls out of ponds. How about the last one, our nocturnal restoration consultant? How about our nocturnal restoration consultant? What do you think they do? They're a professional sleeper. They test out beds and pillows in hotel rooms to see if they're good for a good night's sleep. So the reason we checked out all these strange jobs, the reason we looked at all of these strange jobs is in our lesson this week, Jesus reads a passage from the prophet Isaiah, and he says, God has told me that these are my jobs: to advocate for the poor, to forgive sins, to help people see God's love, to break the cycles that are keeping people down, to promote justice and equality. Just as these are our individuals' jobs, we have people who are poop smellers and aquatic obstruction engineers. Jesus says in our passage this week, these are my jobs. God has told me these are my jobs. These are the jobs that I've come to do. And those are really big jobs. Those jobs that that Jesus has given are really big jobs, helping people see God's love, breaking cycles that keep people down. Those are really big jobs. Those are really hard jobs. And Jesus needs our help. He asks, will you be my disciple and help me? He asks us to help him to do these really big jobs that God has assigned him. May we say yes to Jesus and help him do those really big jobs he's been given by God. Thanks be to God. Amen. Thanks so much for joining me this week. I know we're off lectionary, but hope you can use this in some way or file it away for another time. If you're watching us from home or Sunday school, hope you enjoyed the lesson, and I hope you'll join me next week for another edition of Children's Story Time. Take care, everyone. Peace, blessings, love, and prayers. Bye-bye.